Thank you, Michael. Thanks, everybody, for hanging on. I apologize for getting in late. Just got hung up with, we've got incredible weather, but I guess there's been a lot of fog through Norman to Oklahoma City and really all around here, and wasn't able to get in last night. We were all out recruiting on Sunday, as I was, and got kind of trapped and stuck in Dallas trying to get back. So I'm anyway here now, and to catch up with the news conference. We're all excited about the opportunity to go to to go up to Stillwater this weekend to play Oklahoma State, a team that's had an excellent year, and we understand it's a big challenge. We've had a great week of practice last week of 3 days, Monday through Wednesday, and we gave the players off for the weekend. And again, as coaches, we did some recruiting all through Sunday, and coordinators have been in place all day this morning and through the day getting ready for practice. So I feel like we're in good shape coming into this Monday. And anyway, so hopefully I'll get with the trainers here shortly, and hopefully we get some guys back that have been nicked up last week. I feel like that week off should have hopefully helped us just with some of those nagging injuries, and hopefully that'll make us a little stronger coming into this game. From there, I'll open it up for questions.
Is Bedlam a zero-sum game in the sense that is whatever's good for Oklahoma State bad for you guys and vice versa, or
I don't look at the other team. You guys do. That has nothing to do with us. All I look at is what is our season and our team, and what improves us. End of story. I have no thought on the other team, whether it's Oklahoma State or anyone else.
Are you more confident, and if so, how much more confident after seeing offensively some production these last, 7 quarters? I know Trevor's had a good run there.
Yeah, I do feel good about what we've done, in the last 2 games, in the way we've moved the football offensively, definitely, and especially building on 2 games ago to go on the road against a good Kansas State team that's been playing really well and execute like we did. So hopefully we can carry that over and improve a little bit more.
Speaking of your season, as you mentioned a second ago, you guys have been through some adversity on all kinds of levels this year. Would this kind of game that would really help going into a bowl game of, hey, you feel better about yourself, or the fans?
Well, obviously every game you win helps. That's and so that goes without saying.
Season finale, though, last game of the year.
Well, the one last week or 2 weeks ago against Kansas State also was positive and helped. So they all helped.
Yeah, this is a rivalry game too, as well, in-state. Take down Oklahoma State a peg, maybe.
That has nothing to do with it. Every game we win helps, improves our position or our situation, as I said. So that's always the case, and that's pretty simple to understand.
Bob, you switched quarterbacks early in the year, went back. Both circumstances were involved in both decisions. How much did that impede the development of either guy? Is it better if a guy can play the whole year and grow, or is it you live with? You live with what you. Those were the circumstances we were dealt. They were both dealt injuries that we had to deal with. Fair to say, in each case, at different times, it makes you adjust offensively. Yes, definitely, on what one guy may do a little bit better than the other guy, and then practicing that more, polishing it up more, to get the execution that you need. There is some of that with each guy, and it's been a challenge to manage it overall.
Is Blake healthy, and will he be able to go?
I will see today, but I assume he will be, yes.
When you've said it many times, you run the same offense with both those guys. It looks a little different when Trevor does it. Is it when you have a guy running it well, is it almost like having a good point guard that's a good assist man, some intangibles there?
No doubt, with the speed to make people miss them, or to go by someone that's in position to make a play and can't. And it's fair to say, and with both those guys, what's been obvious now through so many games, you go to it more, certain plays more often, because of what they're able to do overall. So even though, same offense in that all these plays are always in play and ready for games. You go to certain ones when you see the effectiveness more often. You go to the bag more when you feel it's being productive.
Brennan's not a particularly big guy. What has made him so effective running in between the tackles?
Brennan has great vision and timing. I think timing so much of the time is not maybe is talked over too much with running backs, and it's all speed or power. But the timing to allow certain seams to open and to feel that timing, I think he has a great sense of it to allow things to happen before he tries to go make his play.
Most of the guys have, most of the guys have kind of downplayed the weather element, which is easy to do when it's 72 degrees right here. You know how it could be real nasty. Can you talk about how that could impact things?
Yeah, in the end, our view is always, well, both teams have to deal with it. So it isn't like it's bad for one and not the other. So, but I do think things you do emphasize are, ball security, kicking game, being smart with your throws. So you do I think as a play caller, on both sides of the ball, how aggressive you are depending on the wind situations, those kind of things. I think more than cold, I think is wind. I think the wind affects the game much more than just the cold does.
Even if it's bitter cold at 20 degrees.
Well, mid 20s to 30 with very little wind, I don't think it's a big a deal. As the wind is, to me, is always the biggest factor. But again, when you are got a few more sleeves on or something, the ball security and making sure you're good with the football and is always an issue.
OSU Stadium's unusual east-west, so a heavy wind, it's not going at you all the time for a quarter or with you.
And through the years, it's been that way. I agree with you that I don't know that I can remember a time where the wind, being that we get some north-south winds, it's really been a huge factor. Probably because of that.
Trevor hit some key throws in his first drive at Kansas State. How big was that for his confidence and then the offense just to really open up the range?
I'm sure it mattered. He came out, and I liked it too. Coach Heupel gave him his opportunities early too, and he threw them. He threw the ball really well. He threw it like we see him throw it every day. So I'm hopeful that he'll just keep building on that.
Six consecutive, I think, really strong offensive quarters. Maybe you'll be better able to answer this in the future, but do you feel like the light came on or something like that in a game, and it's just?
Well, I guess it's fair to say in the last few games it has. You could tell he's operating much more at ease and comfortable, and I guess he's even the pace, just like I said about Brennan, the pace and the timing, and there's something to that with the quarterback as well, not rushing plays and allowing them to unfold and while you execute them.
Bob, what do two great corners, OSU's corners are really good, how does that impact what you do, particularly with an option-oriented offense?
Well, we've got to be really good at how do we attack them, or how do we, get our opportunities to try and get their safeties off of us. Their safeties are against everybody, but close to the line of scrimmage and are quick to run support, those kind of things. So we've got to be able to try and take advantage of that.
In 2010, you go there, you make the big plays at the end, but you also were up early. 2011, you get down. I mean, is that kind of the beginning of an anatomy of a win like this? Is not getting behind earlier?
Well, I think it's what you've seen. I think from a lot of people in these games is you win together. So many times after the game, everyone blames it. Oh, it was the defense. Oh, it was the offense. It's the two of you playing together. Offense, yes, has to pick up third downs, has to and has to move the football, have its time of possession and score points. And defense has to get its third down stops. If you look at them too, in the last 4 or 5 games, they're like plus 16 in turnover margin. All right, if we're on the bottom end of that, you're not going to win these games. If you're on the plus end of it, picking up third downs and scoring and getting your opportunities together, that's how you win in these games. That's how they beat Baylor. I think they win the turnover margin, they win third downs, they win time of possession by a long shot, and that's how that's how we beat Kansas State a week ago. We had a pick 6 We won the third down and fourth downs by a long shot, and our time of possession was probably 11 minutes more than they were. And that's how you win, together. And that's what we have to do.
Speaking about playing together, your defense hasn't always been supported because of your ups and downs offensively. But do you feel good about your defense after 11 games?
Well, I mean, they're still, we're still so, young, but we're, I do feel we've made significant strides, and we've had a lot of games where we've played really strong, and so I do, but I still feel there's a lot more to come, and hopefully that'll come this week where we'll make improvements, but. We have definitely gotten better, by a long shot from a year ago, and I feel we've, gotten better overall through the year, and again, hopefully we'll play a great game this week.
Bob, naturally, you'd like to be in OSU's position to play for a championship right now, but there's the argument of which would you rather be, the team that's won 9 of 10 and won 8 or shared 8 championships, or OSU with a chance to win 2 of 3 and 2 of 3 championships?
Well, I mean, over the last many years, I'd rather have the big picture but this week, I'd rather be where they're at. There's no denying that.
Right.
So in the end, that's sure we've done our deal, but today's today, and I'm that's all I can think about is what we want to do this week. You want to ask me whenever I'm retired and there's a certain period of time you want to talk about, sure. But I mean, I'm in the moment right now, so there's, this is what you want right now.
Well, what's Shelf done the last 2 or 3 weeks? When he first got back in, didn't play well at all, but he's gotten better and better in these last 2 weeks. He's just been excellent. Yeah,
I don't, much like I'd probably say if they say it too, that sometimes it's players and the execution around them has been really good, but he's making great decisions on where he's throwing the football, his reads, and then his accuracy. His accuracy's been there as well. And again, there's probably some of it. The coaches, like we have said here, some of it probably in some of the games where he wasn't as consistent, probably wasn't all just him. It's some of the execution around him.
What is OSU doing with their run game that's allowing them to be so successful, and also including the run game for the quarterback?
Well, part of it is the run game for the quarterback. So, you spread out and get too worried about how you're covering everybody. You got holes when the quarterback pulls it and runs. So that's part of it. And then they do a lot of different, movement with their fullback back there to change up how you're fitting your gaps. And you see other people that have played them getting out of position. And then there's a hole right there that they take advantage of.
When they beat you guys in 01 and 02, they were shocking upsets, and their facilities were not very good, and they weren't recruiting very good. The program's changed quite a bit since I guess those upset victories over you guys in those days. I guess you have an appreciation for how far they've come. I guess as your in-state rival as much as you can.
No, I don't appreciate it. I wish they had, but no. I mean, I'm sure. Yeah, they've invested a lot in their program, and like so many, you see this across the country, in every league, everybody's spending the money and everybody's investing in their programs and building their programs, and there's more and more parity everywhere, in every league, and they've shown it in this league.
How much has their talent upgraded over the years you've been here, to the point where, it seems like they've got better and better players now?
Well, they do have great players, excellent players, but I don't, when you're the one that's facing them all the time, I wouldn't say that it's not like they never have. Okay, so I don't, so I can't say how it's changed, but they've had good players in my eyes for a long time.
Facilities make that much of a difference to a young athlete when you're recruiting them?
Oh, yeah, sure they do.
As a coach, do you worry about your team being, is it a general worry from season to season or game to game that you prepared your team enough? And the reason I ask that is because that last play, the Auburn-Alabama game, it seemed to me that Alabama was not prepared for that situation. Do you concern yourself that your team is prepared for every possible outcome in every possible situation?
Well, I don't. We feel like we are, but that's a situation that's definitely a team team, you know, hey, this is something to reference here. It may happen once every 5, 6, 8 years, you know, but, you know, that's something you have on your list now as you go through that, you know, in this kind of situation, this is, you know, what we need to be ready to do.
Does that
So-
mean you have to spend maybe an extra 5 minutes in practice working on that?
Well,
Or
not
take
every
time
day,
away?
but, you know, that's something you do in 2-a-days. That's something you do when you have extra time or in the spring. And, all right, these are, again, this is a situation that, you know, might come every 5, 8 years. But, you know, let's make sure we understand what we need to do.
What can you do? I mean, it seems like the best way to do it is not kick it long like that.
Well,
Get a
that's...
bunch of big guys to block, and then...
Yeah, but again, if there's a strong and immediate sense of urgency that as soon as that you hear the ball thud, that you are really sprinting and covering, I think that's what you do. That's what you're, and you work it, you know. So even though they're big, and again, there's enough of them out there, you have a chance to corral them. But if you're asking me, that's what you do. That's what you do.
Bob, turnovers and third downs are always pivotal, but in a game like this, you probably are going to have a lot of third down situations, and with the weather conditions,
Oh, it's huge.
the
Like I
turnovers,
was saying,
is it bigger?
Yeah, turnovers and because third and fourth down conversions and turnovers all lead to possession time and field yardage on the field, you know, for field position and all of that. So it directly correlates to points and time of possession. And so, you know, you need to win those battles.
And the slick ball and the elements with the
Yeah,
turnovers.
I mean, again, it's definitely a factor.
Is it better to have an in-state rival that's a rival, like Oklahoma State's gotten good in the last decade or so? Or is it better to have an in-state rival that you can just go push around all the time?
I don't know. A rival's a rival. It
Is it all
doesn't
the
matter.
same to you?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Clay.
Do what I can.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I get you a nice tea on the way out.
Talk about the special teams play. Not only you defending OSU's special teams, but your special teams also on Saturday.
Yeah, it's you know, it's special teams are also a big factor in field position, and so you know. It's something we've worked hard on. Definitely, they've got great return guys. We've had great return guys. You know, that'll be a big issue in the game too. You know, we've had some big plays. You know, returning the ball as they have, and so that'll be a big part of the game.
They changed up defensive coordinators. Can you talk about their defense compared to what they've been, either scheme-wise or
I
just
won't
talent?
compare it to what they've been. I'm not much on comparing just because they have a different guy. But I will say what you see from them this year, you see excellent players. I think it starts there. And then very sound and structured in what they ask their players to do. You see very few mistakes because of that. You know, so they're very sound on how they play. And they do the same things over and over, and they do them well. And that's a compliment when I say they're not grab bagging for certain things to stop something. They play good, sound fundamentals. And then they mix in their change-ups to cross you up with, you know, blitzes here or there or movements to try and throw you off. So they do a good, sound job of it.
A year ago, you guys played Baylor, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, and you know defensively it was getting more and more difficult. And I guess the question is just the level of confidence between then and now. And last season at this time, was it almost like you guys were guessing at some level, and now there's some certainty?
Guessing no. At what?
At you know, this is what we need to do.
No,
because
we continue to do, you know, some of the same things, which, you know, proved not to be the best. But we did win 10 games, I guess, and only lost one Big 12 game. So let's remember that. But in the end, no, we've made a lot of adjustments from a year ago, and they've been, you know, for the most part, you know, they've been really positive and good, and I like what we've been doing.
And it puts a level of confidence underneath you that,
Sure.
that maybe wasn't there at this time last season.
Yeah, I don't know that we ever, you know, lost confidence, but we just,
Levels.
yeah, well, whatever. We do feel good about what we're doing. You're asking me right now, in this moment, yes.
What was your reaction to the Big Iron Bowl finished it Saturday night?
Oh, well, probably like everybody's. Wow, you know, it was a heck of a play. So.
Did you get a chance to see Adrian Peterson's accomplishment?
You know, I
yesterday?
didn't. I was busy recruiting yesterday, but happy for Adrian. Congratulate him. Doesn't surprise me. You know, he's special, and I love it that he's, you know, healthy and keeps rolling. You know, he's a guy that, with as powerful as he is, he can keep going for probably a good while yet.
It's crazy that he's doing things that only Jim Brown and O.J. Simpson and Emmitt Smith and guys like that have done.
Well, get next to him and
Yeah.
look at him. Yeah, it's not that surprising. So, all right, thank you.